Welcome to Storytime. Enjoy with me. Lifelines by Peter Viney.
Five. None of it's true.
Mervyn wasn't very happy that day. On the way to work, he had a small accident in the Rolls-Royce. He drove into the back of another car. That evening, he was going to be on a television programme about fortune-tellers. He was worried about it. He was thinking about the television programme when Rachel knocked on his office door. "Who's that? I'm busy. Go away."
"It's me, Rachel."
I said, go away.
"I must speak to you."
Come back later.
"It's important, Mervyn."
Rachel opened the door and went in. "Yes, what do you want?" said Mervyn.
"Well, Mervyn, I had an idea."
"I'm not interested in your ideas," said Mervyn. "You were interested in my idea for computer palmistry," said Rachel. "OK, sit down and tell me, but hurry. I'm very busy." Rachel told him about the woman at the party, and he laughed. "Does it matter?" he said. "Well, yes," she said. "I wanted the computer to compare the photographs from different towns." "We don't pay you to play with a computer," said Mervyn angrily. "Anyway, you aren't a computer programmer. You couldn't do this. Someone helped you. Who was it?" "Mark," said Rachel. "But he did the work in his own time." "He used my computer and he used my electricity," said Mervyn. "Can I show you what we found?" said Rachel. She showed the printouts to Mervyn. He got angrier and angrier. "Rachel," he said, "this is all nonsense. Nobody can tell you about the future. You don't believe this, do you?" "Don't you believe it?" she said quietly. "Of course not. It's not true, none of it." "Then you're cheating your customers." "Yes, I know," said Mervyn. "There's a fool born every minute. You've heard that before, haven't you? That's why I'm a rich man. Anyway, we got all the information about palmistry and astrology from the best books. The programme doesn't cheat. It gives us the best information on palmistry. But all of the information is nonsense." Rachel stood up. "That's it, Mervyn. You're a cheat and a thief." Mervyn smiled. "Thank you," he said. "Well, I'm not working for you anymore. You can find another palmistry consultant. Ask at the prison. They'll find somebody for you." She left Mervyn's room and hurried back to her office. She put on her coat and walked out. The air outside felt clean and good. She smiled. She wasn't a palmistry consultant anymore. "Now," she thought, "I'm going to get a real job."
Six. Chatfield.
Rachel left computer astrology on March the 19th. She soon found another job as a reporter for the Daily Echo, a newspaper in London. She was a reporter before she worked for Mervyn. But she never forgot about Mark's computer printouts, and she never forgot about Chatfield. One day, she was talking to her boss at the newspaper, and she told him about the lifelines. He laughed. "Do you believe it, Rachel?" he said. "I don't know, but it's interesting." "Yes, it's a good story. Look, why don't you go to Chatfield? Perhaps you can write a story for the newspaper." "Mervyn won't like it," she said. "Are you worried about Mervyn Astra?" "No, you go and write the story. Look round Chatfield. talk to people, read their hands. I told you I can't read hands, she said. You know enough about palmistry. There's a good story here. Write it. Rachel smiled. OK, I will. I'll go there next week. Rachel arrived in Chatfield by train on Wednesday the 20th of September. She got a taxi to the Royal Hotel. She walked into the hotel and stopped. A short, fat man with glasses and very long hair was standing there. He was shouting at the girl behind the desk. "Do you know who I am?" he shouted. "My brother owns the Chatfield Evening Star. I want a room with a bath, and I want it now."
And you didn't write or telephone, said the girl.
What's your name? Come on, what is it? You're going to lose your job. My brother's a very important man in this town. His face was very red. Rachel walked over to the desk. "Hello, Mervyn," she said. Mervyn looked round. "What are you doing here?" he said. "You won't get a room. The hotel's full." Rachel smiled at the girl behind the desk.
Rachel Grant, she said, from the Daily Echo. I phoned yesterday.
"Ah, yes," said the girl. "Miss Grant, a room with bath. You're in room 437. I've got your key. Wait here. Someone will take your case to the room."
"Thank you," said Rachel.
Mervyn looked very angry. "Well, I'm not staying here. I'm going to another hotel. A better one."
"Good," said Rachel. "Good night."
Mervyn walked out of the hotel. The girl behind the desk was smiling.
"Enjoy your stay, Miss Grant," she said.
"Thank you," said Rachel. "I will."
Seven. Terrible news.
On the morning of September the 21st, Mark woke early. He couldn't sleep. He had dreams all night about Rachel and the computer printouts. He went downstairs to get the newspaper. It was on the floor with the letters. He picked it up and looked at the front page. Daily Echo, London, the 21st of September. The worst day ever. Nuclear explosion in Chatfield. Thousands dead. At 10:35 yesterday evening, there was an atomic explosion at the Chatfield nuclear power station. Thousands of people are dead. The army has closed all roads round Chatfield, and there is no news from the town. Nobody knows why the power station exploded or how many people have died. Our reporter, Rachel Grant, was in the town when the power station exploded. The army has asked people to stay in their homes in an area 50 miles round Chatfield. The Prime Minister will speak on television and radio at 9 o'clock this morning. Mark put down the newspaper. He was crying. He went to a cupboard and took out the box of computer printouts. He looked at them for a moment. Then he walked over to the telephone. He had to phone the Daily Echo. He found the phone book and looked for the number. There it was, 0171 131 1676. Then he stopped and thought. He picked up the box of printouts, took them into the garden, and burned them. He never told anybody about the lifelines.
The end.